Now at 6 o'clock, Portland and the state of Oregon both suing the Trump administration for deploying National Guard members to the city. We'll have the latest on their deployment and the lawsuit ahead in our top story.
And Congress has less than 2 days to pass a new spending bill to avoid a government shutdown. We have the latest details on President Trump's meeting with congressional leaders.
Also this morning, say goodbye to the sunshine. And hello to the raindrops. Rod Hill's full forecast on the way when we can expect showers this week. The 6 o'clock hour of sunrise starts right now.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Monday here. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. Chris McGinnis and Rod Hill also ready to go here at 6 o'clock. So, Rod, I did see some raindrops on the windshield this morning driving in.
Me too.
Not going to be a really rainy day, though, right?
No, that's incorrect, actually.
Hey, Rod, can I do that again? Hey, Rod, I saw some raindrops on my windshield this morning as I was driving in, and I believe that's a precursor to what will be a very rainy day.
Could be, yes. No, I'm like Drew. I had a spritz of some light showers coming in. So Drew's not far off. Let me show you what I'm looking at. It's been really rainy along the coast. Absolutely solid rainy start for you folks. We now have some rain just outside of Salem, but so far from Salem up through Portland, even Longview, it's been mainly some sprinkles or traces of rain, and that's been it. Rain is going to be picking up during the morning hours. The question is, how far will we go into the morning commute before sprinkles turn in to rain? So this is moving our way over the Coast Range. I still think in terms of what's in the gauge, we could actually get close to 8 o'clock before rain in Portland really starts to pick up. But once it does, we'll be looking at fairly steady rain later this morning throughout much of your afternoon. But it won't be stormy, it'll be light rain. So right now, Salem, just some sprinkles. Portland, just some sprinkles. To the bus stop we go, 60 degrees out the door. This is steady light rain later this morning throughout much of the afternoon. And now here's Drew. Chris,
Chris.
Goodness.
We'll get to Drew.
Chris.
We are like a well-oiled machine here on a Monday morning, let me tell you. All right, so putting another wrench in the works is your I-5 southbound drive. We've got a crash up near Columbia Boulevard. The southbound left lane is still blocked. This happened about 45 minutes ago. And the I-5 southbound commute is stacked up onto the interstate bridge. Let's go ahead and show you this right now. This is up past Jansen Beach, and I think we've got one more camera here that takes you onto the bridge. Yeah, there you go. So with that in mind, your trip out of Clark County, way ahead of schedule here, about 20 minutes to get you in from Main Street to the Fremont. That's our only big trouble spot right now. We'll keep you posted. Drew, China?
All right, thank you, Chris. Top story here on a Monday morning. Oregon is suing the Trump administration over a plan to deploy 200 National Guard troops here in Portland.
The state hopes that the lawsuit blocks a deployment, with Governor Tina Kotek calling it unlawful. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us in downtown Portland outside the Justice Center. So Thomas, what else are state leaders saying about this?
Well, guys, they're saying that there's no legitimate validation to the deployment of 200 National Guard troops, leading Oregon Attorney General Dan Rayfield to file a lawsuit.
The president is either purposefully ignoring the reality on the ground in Portland to score political points, or at best is recklessly relying upon social media gossip.
And on Sunday, Governor Tina Kotek pushed back as well, joining protesters along the waterfront who marched after President Trump said on Saturday that troops were needed to protect ICE facilities in, quote, war-ravaged Portland. Though on Sunday morning, Trump told NBC he had a phone call with Kotek that showed him a different perspective, saying, "I spoke to the governor, she was very nice, but I said, well, wait a minute, am I watching things on television that are different from what's happening? My people tell me different. They're literally attacking and there are fires all over the place." Trump's action would activate the Oregon National Guard for 60 days where protests are occurring or likely to occur. Still, Governor Kotek and hundreds of protesters marched Sunday with hopes of showing the president troops are not needed in the Rose City.
When people cross the line, there's unlawful activity. People are being held accountable. This is not an insurrection. This does not require military troops in an American city.
Well, I hope Trump and a lot of the other folks from ICE and others who are in Washington are watching us today and saying, I guess the people in Portland really don't think it's a hellhole. I guess they really don't want us here.
So guys, still a lot to be determined here, but coming up at 6:30, I'll have more information on where those troops could be stationed at the ICE facility along the south waterfront and what those protests have really looked like over the past few months. Drew, Jenna.
Thomas, thank you. And there was also a planned rally by the ICE facility on Sunday afternoon. This was separate from the protest led by Governor Kotek and Mayor Wilson. Federal officers did come out of the building on multiple occasions to clear the roadway for vehicles coming into the facility. One person in attendance described why they were there.
I'm out here today because Trump wants to paint Portland as a living hellscape, but we're here together, banding together as a community and showing that the only violence in Portland is ICE kidnapping our community members.
Our crew on scene saw Portland police officers monitoring the crowd but not assisting federal officers. Stay with KGW for continuing coverage on the deployment of National Guard in Portland and as the lawsuit against the Trump administration plays out. You can find the latest on air on KGW.com and on our free TV streaming app, KGW+.
President Trump is scheduled to meet with top congressional leaders today as the deadline for a government shutdown approaches. House Republicans already passed a short-term spending bill, but it still needs votes from Democrats to succeed in the Senate. Democrats say they want more money for health care. If a shutdown were to happen, more than 2 million federal workers could see their paychecks stop coming in, and essential workers like air traffic controllers and TSA agents would be ordered to work without pay. Congress has until midnight on Wednesday to pass the bill.
Monument County leaders say severe budget cuts are on the horizon as they start rebalancing the county's budget. They blame state and federal cuts to health care, housing services, and shelters. And because of that, the county will see a drop in the number of available shelter beds and people could lose access to rent assistance. There will also be public work sessions to consider these adjustments starting early next month.
Tigard City Council plans to appoint one of its own members as the city's new leader after Tigard's previous mayor abruptly resigned. Heidi Lube said ongoing conflicts with other city councilors and city staff was behind her decision to step down. So the council is asking for the public at this point to submit questions to the two city councilors who say they want the job, Jeanette Shaw and Yi Kang-Hu. Both will get the chance to make their case at the next city council meeting on October 7th, and councilors will vote on a new mayor for Tigard after that.
This week, the Oregon Senate is expected to meet for a few special interim legislative days to vote on the state's new transportation bill. The vote has been delayed several times because Democratic Senator Chris Gorsuch from Gresham has been recovering from back surgery. So Senator Gorsuch is expected to support the bill, but he can't cast his vote unless he is physically present in the Senate chamber. So lawmakers, they are not allowed to vote by proxy, which means no one else can vote in his place. The vote is now planned to happen sometime in the next few days.
Starbucks, come negotiate.
All right, so local Starbucks workers held a rally in Hillsborough yesterday demanding the company settle a fair union contract. Starbucks Workers United sent us this video from the rally. The union says that workers want improved staffing on the job, protections, and higher wages. This comes after Starbucks announced the closing of hundreds of stores nationwide last week.
All right, 6:08 on a Monday morning as we take this live look outside from our Wells Fargo Skycam downtown Portland. Rod Hill will bring you back into the mix here. I don't know if you heard just about 8 minutes ago, I predicted here on the Sunrise Show that we would see a pretty rainy day today.
Well, you could still be right. Any forecaster would tell you you can't claim victory until after the fact. Good morning. It's a weak front that's coming in, and it kind of washes out as it marches inland. Now, that front is producing solid rain up and down the coast this morning, but so far in the valley, only some sprinkles to be found. Here's a closer look at Doppler radar. You see the rain really now starting to march over the coast range, so it's just off to the west. Portland, again, you might find a little spritz of rain or some traces of rain if you're leaving now, but nothing really showing up on the radar. There's rain starting to move in to McMinnville. So the big question is, when does our rain increase past the point of just some sprinkles or some traceable showers? All the data shows by 8 o'clock this morning, we're certainly getting into the main rain, and maybe it's before then, so we'll see. Futurecast shows it at 9 o'clock coming in, shows steady rain later this morning, steady rain at noon, and then steady rain breaking up later today at about 4 o'clock, something like that. So right now, pretty quiet start to our day. Here's Providence Park, all dry but cloudy, 59 degrees. The weather map for today, it's morning rain at the coast, and then you'll get some dry time with a scattered shower threat this afternoon. You'll be behind that weakening front that's coming in. For For the valley, it's steady rain later this morning into much of the afternoon, but it'll be light rain rates. And then we too expect a band of heavier rain out east later today with your highs in the 60s to about 70s. So 66 today, all total Portland, probably less than 0.2 of an inch of rain. Tomorrow, it could be mainly dry in the morning. Rain picks up in the afternoon. Then it's a rainy Wednesday. Scattered shower throughout Thursday. Right now, Friday, Saturday, Sunday all look dry to me. Chris has been following a traffic alert.
Yeah, in North Portland, heads up if you're getting on the roads out of Clark County, your drive on I-5 is going to take you extra time right now. And this is entirely because of a crash near Columbia Boulevard. I want to let you know that that crash has just cleared. However, the lineup still extends back to the Interstate Bridge. So you're going to need an extra 15 minutes or so right now to get over the I-5 bridge into North Portland. We'll keep you posted. Drew, China?